We're talking with Dr. Oz here. I'm not even going to read the intro because we're already in conversation with you. Hi, Dr. Oz. This Eclipse light thing with the eyes is the real deal. We have to really get a warning out there to parents and kids.
Well, you instinctively look away from the sun when it's brightly shining in your eyes. But of course, with the eclipse, and in this area, it's especially problematic because you're blocking off 70%. So there's enough coming around the edge of the moon that could cause some big-time damage. Hopefully, most folks have heard the message that you got to put on real eclipse glasses like those. You're looking at them right there. They'll say numbers on them like ISO 123, 122. Borrow your friends because there's none left to buy anymore.
They are hard to find.
They are.
Good point.
But sunglasses do not work.
Right.
X-ray film doesn't work. Don't try to game the system here. If you don't take care of protecting your eyes, it's basically doing light surgery on your eyes, laser surgery without a license.
This isn't the same as looking at the sun on a regular day, any other day. This is more intense and it burns your eye and you'll never know.
The reason that it's more of a problem is you won't look away like you normally would.
Okay.
No one's going to stare at the sun with wide eyes. It's just something we can't do. Physically, our lids of our eyes will shut down. But in this setting, because it's not quite as bright, it can become a problem. And if there's a little bit of cloud cover, it could be even more dangerous because you think you can game it.
And would you please tell the teenagers that they can't look through their smartphone camera and make that?
Yeah, look
doesn't
into
work
my
either?
eyes because maybe the last thing you see if you do that. Do not try to look through a lens. It doesn't work. These are basically welder's glasses.
Yeah.
You would not weld something with your
Right.
sunglasses or with your phone looking through it. You'd actually put on protection. Very sexy looking, by the way.
I know.
Different
It's
colors.
hot.
Hey, listen, speaking of eyes, there's another story that I'm dying to hear your point of view on about Alzheimer's and eye scans. How's that work?
So normally to figure out if you have the early signs of Alzheimer's, even before you have symptoms of memory loss, you have to do an expensive scan of the brain. We give you all kinds of chemicals in your arms. It's a problem. These researchers did something very interesting. They realized something that we all should appreciate is when we look into the back of our eyes, the area that would get burned, that doesn't have any pain receptors, so the eclipse could damage it, that same area is actually part of your brain. You're looking in your brain. And so if you give people curcumin, turmeric, right? There's some stuff they use to spice up Indian food.
The bright
yellow
orange,
stuff.
The yellow
right?
stuff.
Yeah, it's
We
almost
actually
orange,
think
right?
it might be helpful in reducing Alzheimer's separately, but that's a different conversation. But if you give people turmeric, it actually goes to these plaques. You can look at the back of the eye on these images and scans, and you can actually see that because of the back of the eye is part of your brain, what's happening in your brain. So you don't have to do big x-rays. You very seamlessly, effortlessly, and safely can look in the back of the eye and say, you know what? You've got some plaque back there.
Wow.
Now you may say, what difference does that make? I mean, can you treat Alzheimer's? Yes. You can't cure it yet, but you can delay the onset with the medications that are currently available, but only if you give them in a timely way.
If you know what's happening.
Yeah, and mark my words, we will cure Alzheimer's in our lifetime. So if you can just delay the onset of significant Alzheimer's, what the thing we fear the most, by the way, is that, then you'll allow science to catch up to you. So give it a shot. Eat some turmeric anyway, period. And then in addition, once in a while, eat some and have some look in the back of your eye.
No wonder my eye doctor gets so excited when he looks in my eyes. All that activity
He
going
just
on.
loves your eyes.
It's so active back there. The peanut allergies for kids is such a big deal, and I feel like more and more we see these peanut allergies, but now we hear word of some breakthrough.
This is huge.
Yeah.
We have known for a while that taking away peanuts from children when they're young, we thought it would help. Unwittingly, we made peanut allergies worse by doing that because kids were never exposed to them. They couldn't develop an immune system. So these researchers began to study giving peanuts back to kids. And they learned that if you give a little bit of peanuts back to kids, they actually will have less allergies. But here's the big breakthrough. They combined the peanuts in this study with probiotics. Now, you all heard of probiotics.
Oh, sure.
Right?
Take
We
them all
now
the time.
know that the bacteria in your gut, you outsource digestion to those bacteria. You don't digest your food, your bacteria does. If you have the right bacteria in your gut, they help the immune system cope with the peanuts, dramatically improve success. 90% of the kids in the study got rid of their peanut allergies, only 10% without the probiotics did. So it's a huge difference, and it lasted for a long time, which means remember the importance of your gut bacteria. The probiotics can help you with all kinds of allergies, and you might want to try this exposure when the kids are 4 to 6 months of age. Give them a little bit of peanuts if they don't have bad allergies. With probiotics, I think it could make a difference.
Wow, it's like you're not supposed to have too clean of a house, right?
Same kind of thing.
Right.
Get them in the dust. That's why kids with pets have less allergies. It should be the opposite. The pets have dander, they've got dust, they've got all kinds of stuff. You're in the mud. Those kids, because they're exposed, learn to cope.
I have no allergies. Does that mean my mother had a dirty house?
Very dirty.
Hey, and real quickly, in our
Very
7 o'clock hour, we talked about the melatonin, maybe the correlation between that and breast cancer. Tell me what your take on that is.
The reason that is so powerful, that information, is because we're learning now that the light exposure turns on chemicals in our body, like melatonin, right? Because when the sun goes down, that light goes to the back of your brain, turns the pineal gland down, you get melatonin. with people who have cancer, that's really important for regulating your immune system. And what the time of day you give chemotherapy probably affects how importantly it can kill off cancers.
No kidding.
These are things we've always ignored. But as we learn more and more about this, really progressive oncologists are beginning to use light as a weapon to help you. It can also hurt you.
Yeah.
Right? But when you look at bright lights late at night, you don't let melatonin get secreted, you don't fall asleep. The power of our hormones subtly adjusting our health is becoming more and more prevalent. Things that are happening behind the scenes affect our health in a big way, and you can change them.
So if you have those a really well-lighted street, wear those little masks.
The sunglasses actually work
Right.
for that purpose.
Yeah, but not for today.
Not for
today you
Yeah,
need
to-
these are like welder's glasses, number 12 or something.
Let me see. They look as good on me as they look on you. Well, yours are color coordinated.
They're
Good.
very.
They look better
they're
on
so
me.
hot. Yeah.
They look better.
They're it.
Wear them. Are you going to go out and look at it?
Of course. You can't. How can you give this up? You'll tell your grandkids about this.
I agree.
Hey, Dr.
I
Oz,
agree.
weekday afternoons at 1 o'clock, right here.
1 o'clock.
on
I'm
Fox.
so glad you're here today. Good day. Good day to have. It's a good
was-
day every day, but it's a great day today.
It was so good to be here without Steve, with disrupting the conversation.
Save this clip.
I love you, Steve.
Coming up.